There's something about growing up with Super Mario 3 that made it my favourite game. Mario's changed a lot over the years, but I knew Mario back in the 90s. This was a game that I used to play religiously. I'd speedrun. I'd take my time and explore. I'd play 2 players. I'd try with my controller upside down. I'd play for nothing other than a high score. But I never actually completed the game. Ever. I'd either run out of time, lives, or it just felt like it was too difficult and I gave up. But it's been over 30 years at this point, and I think it's time to talk about and finally complete my favourite and potentially the best game of all time, Super Mario Bros. 3. Most people from my generation are aware of the third Mario Brothers, but if you're not, before there was Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario 64, Mario Kart, we grew up with a little 2D platformer called Super Mario. It was bundled with the original Nintendo console and was the top-selling NES game of all time. Everyone knew Mario and the platform genre. But the third iteration in just 3 short years came such a long way in design, new items, enemies and hidden features that it felt like the Nintendo became a new generation of console and had just released a groundbreaking title. And like most gamers from that era, I fell in love with it. Right off the bat here, there's a detail that I definitely didn't appreciate as a kid and that you might not have noticed either. The game is designed to be like a dramatic screenplay. The title screen features a stage curtain being drawn open, and in-game objects hang like they're attached to off-screen catwalks or bolted to the background and cast shadows all over the skyline. When Mario finishes a level, he walks off the stage. Creator Shigeru Miyamoto designed Super Mario Bros. 3 to be a theatrical, creative and colourful gaming experience. So with that point in mind, we aren't just here to complete the game, I want to play it through, experience and complete as many levels as possible. I'm not using any mods and I'm not skipping any worlds. I just want to enjoy what the game has to offer. Staples in the Mario universe to this day are the power-ups, but many of these were new at the time and very cool as an evolution from the first 2 Mario titles. Carrying over from the first games are the mushrooms, which will make us big, the plants, which will make us big and let us shoot fireballs, and there is the superstar, which makes us invincible for a short amount of time. But the biggest new addition is the leaf or feather, which gives Mario a raccoon tail and can make us fly. We'll talk about quite a few of the new power-ups as we go along. In the first 2 Mario games, you couldn't keep multiple power-ups on hand. But now we have an inventory where we can keep bonus items found, which we can pop open and use whenever we choose before we jump into a level. And any items you finish a level with, say if Mario has a tail, will carry on to the next one. We can't open our inventory during a level, but you can carry over most items from the levels you pass and collect new items to store in your inventory along the way. All these items will have a time and a place where they'll be best to use, or if we have a setback and need a power up to help us get through a level we just get stuck at. And we will definitely need these as we progress further into the worlds. The only item that I'm choosing to never use are the whistles. These guys are actually another very cool addition to Mario and are funnily enough a little callback to another Nintendo title that will appear here on the channel in a future video, and that is The Legend of Zelda. When used, these whistles can help you skip worlds entirely and will take you to a screen in which you can jump ahead or back or select whichever world you want to go to. We can find these whistles in a few little hidden sections of some levels, which you can see me looking for here, where if you hold down on the D-pad while standing on this white box, Mario will go behind the screen. You have to be careful, the Goombas and other enemies can still harm you from back here. But running towards the end of the level will take you to a secret area, which has this little chest in it. This game was praised for its ingenuity in the way it approached game design, in particular the way it would give players of all skill levels some sort of challenge. As you progress in the game, the levels gradually get harder. The first world is supposed to be full of super easy levels, and from there it gets progressively harder and harder and teaches you different mechanics until you reach World 8, where it all comes together. Now I say World 1 is super easy, but we do in fact have our first setback early on. I don't think I ever finished it. No, man! What are we doing? Not to worry, Mario never gives up, and neither will we. We put that setback behind us and also find another whistle in the castle by flying up blindly to the top of this area. Doing these things were just muscle memory for me. I don't even remember how I learned how to get to these areas back in the day, but now it's just automatic for me to go to them. Now collecting this whistle completes the level and you won't be able to do anything else in the castle. It also doesn't break away the lock on the map like completing the castle would normally do, but small details. For now, this isn't important. There are 3 whistles in total that you can find in the game, and you only need 2 to be able to reach World 8. Technically, we could just skip ahead now to the end, but with little inventory and a small number of backup lives, things might get a little rough. Sure, we could even use these whistles, say, midway through the game, but I'm choosing not to use these whistles to skip ahead, simply because whilst I want to complete the game, I wanted to go back and experience as much of the game as I could. But there are so many hidden things that you can find in this game that the developers intentionally put into Super Mario 3 that made me fall in love with the game and kept me coming back as a kid. You'd stumble across something and think you broke the game, or just mind blown that you could find something hidden and the game would give you cool rewards. Like these bonus coin sections. If you time a jump on these off-colored boxes, you'd be thrown up into the clouds where there would be a ton of coins that you can collect with no enemies in sight. I'm huge on grabbing every single coin that I can see, and I'm sure there's a heaps better way to go about it than I did here. But once you collect 100 coins, you gain an extra life, so it all counts towards something. Flying up here is a nice way to collect a green mushroom that will give you an extra life out of this mystery box. This is another thing which makes you just look out for areas that you can fly up to, or can lead you to cool bonuses. Another way we can collect some extra lives is at the end of each level. The little box at the end of each level will cycle through 3 picture cards, which are a mushroom, a flower, and a star. When you collect 3 cards, you'll get an extra life. But if you collect 3 mushrooms, you'll get 2 extra lives. 3 flower cards will get you 3 extra lives, or collecting 3 star cards will get you 5 extra lives. I'm pretty sure that when you run at full speed and hit the bottom left corner or left side of this box, you're guaranteed to get the star. This is just my theory, okay? I'm not sure if it's an exact science. Lives are important because who knows how many lives you'll need to complete the game. You've got to collect them now while you still can. There are no save points and lives are limited. Once you run out, you start back at the beginning, and because there are no save points, you can't power off. There are so many details and personality to all of these levels. Obstacles which you can put your head down and speed through, completely avoid, or try to finesse. I personally love using the tailor on levels like this because you can adjust your landing if you time it wrong. So we need to talk a little strategy. In order to make it through each of the latter worlds where things are a lot tougher, we're going to have to stack up both the amount of lives we have and the power-ups that we have in our inventory right now when things are easiest. I'm sure there will be a few tricky levels here and there that we may need a little help with along the way, but for the most part, we're hoarding everything for the final hurdle of World 8. These little mushroom houses will let you select a box for a random prize. Alright, we'll go for the middle one here. Mushroom! Always handy sometimes, maybe. And even the Hammer Brothers, which patrol the maps, have little things that you can collect for your inventory. Regardless, each level in every world is unique and will have a different challenge of varying difficulty. Nothing is the same. The only similarity is the final level in each of the 7 worlds. What's different with these final levels is that they're kind of the boss level to it. So as Mario, we go on a wild goose chase to help a king from every world that's been overrun by all these bad guys. Why? Well, the story of the game isn't really something that's spelt out to you at the beginning. You kind of just spawn in and just start jumping around and complete the levels, and the story gets uncovered gradually as you go. Unless, of course, you are already familiar with the Mario world and know the characters. So we get an explanation about the king of this world getting transformed into an animal. We aren't told by who, but we do find out that these are the mini-bosses known as Kooplings, and they have used the king's magic wand against him. We get pulled up onto the airship by its anchor, and each airship from each world is different, and they're made to feel more difficult than any other regular levels by forcing the screen to pan across and make you move along the obstacles. The first ship is pretty straightforward. You just have to be patient and avoid the cannonballs, although you can jump on them to get rid of them. But if you get caught by the left hand side of the screen and held back by an obstacle, you'll get squashed and you die, you'll need to start over. The moving screen is one of the mechanics they use to, I guess, induce some sort of tension and panic, as well as the music. The music is something I'll talk about a bit more in a second, but as we get to the end, let's talk about the Koopalings. Lead director Shigeru Miyamoto based the characters' looks on 7 of his programmers as a tribute to their works and efforts, and were originally released as nameless characters. But for the US release, they were given names based around musicians. For example, this is Larry Cooper, named after Larry Mullen Jr., drummer for the Irish band U2. And after timing a jump on his head 3 times, as long as you don't hit their shell, like I do here, these guys are pretty easily defeated. And of course, the true test of Super Mario 3's skill and timing is jumping so you catch the magic wand at the highest point you can, in the air, rather than letting it hit the ground. This doesn't actually do anything, I just always thought it looked really cool. Look, I failed at my first attempt, but let's just put that down to 30 years worth of rust. Actually, I learnt only recently that this isn't the only way to defeat the Koopalings. You can shoot fireballs at them. I never thought this actually did damage to them, but after watching some speedrunners, I was amazed to see it worked, and it's probably even more effective than jumping on their heads. 30 years later, and there's still a ton of details to learn in this game. It's crazy. So for our troubles, all we get as our reward is a thank you from the king and a letter from the princess. We just saved this man's life and his kingdom, but I guess Mario isn't in it for the glory and fame. The letter warns us about upcoming enemies, like it says here, the ghosts that will attack us if our backs are turned. I like this as a little feature that you know things aren't going to be the exact same in the next world, and there'll be a little bit more of a challenge. We also receive an item for our inventory, apparently named the P-Wing, but I always used to call it the Super P. When equipped, this thing will enable Mario to fly for an unlimited duration throughout one level. Once you pass the level, you just keep the tail as normal. So as we move through the worlds, you start to see the little themes or personalities that each of them have. World 1 was kind of just setting the scene, I guess, but World 2 is a bit of a desert level. This isn't just a cosmetic difference though, as this brings about different bad guys as well as environmental obstacles. We have these jumping blocks, for example, and later on we'll see some leaping fireball characters. Something so satisfying about the Mario experience is stringing together moves, like this little consecutive jump. Small details, but getting the timing down feels so rewarding. And many of these instances are actually spaced out purposely for a reason. As I mentioned earlier about the levels getting progressively harder, the earlier levels like this give you the opportunity to try and learn these maneuvers as sort of a practice to skills that you might need later on. Even things like learning to fly and using that in tighter and tighter spaces like we do here, just to show you that there is more to this game than simply running around and jumping all the way to the end. I love this as there isn't really a tutorial section or a training ground. You just load in and learn the skills and timing by trying it and failing. If you fail, the game ends and you need to start again. No explanations, you just have to figure it out yourself. It's a very tough love style, very 80s. So after messing about and looking around at this first level of World 2, in spawns the matching game, the memory game. It's some sort of bonus game, okay? I remember going to my uncle's house one day and he had written down notes and drawings on all the different combinations that this minigame can have. So you need to flip the cards and match 2 of the same object. There were 8 different combos to it, and he made me some copies to take home. So once you match 1 or 2 of the objects, you could figure out which template it was and utilize it to suit your needs. You can pick up a ton of bonus items to hold in your inventory. So if you need more stars or a flower, you just match them first. You can only ever carry 28 item slots, so 4 full pages in your inventory. So it's just a waste filling it up because the last item will just get replaced by the next item you pick up. But for this playthrough, yes, I looked up the combinations. It may be cheesy, but look, I'm not even sorry. I've been doing this tactic for 30 years. You can fight me about it down in the comments. Some new obstacles coming in this world are Thwomp, this big spiky block who always tries to squash you, and some spiky things that always seem to just get you when you least expect it. And we can't forget this level with the quicksand pits and the angry moving sun, along with all the other bad guys we need to avoid and the obstacles. This was probably the first level to teach you as a kid that you could speedrun. Just hold down the B button to sprint, time your runs, and avoid everything by jumping at the right moment without stopping. Of course, I am not the master of remembering how to do this perfectly, But we get to the end. Just. I also think we get a little unlucky at the end of level 4 here, missing out on the star card to get the bonus extra lives. I think the game just hates us. No way! No! Oh man. Another cool feature is the hammer, which we pick up here by defeating the Boomerang brothers in this almost unavoidable fight. You touch these guys on the map and you're forced to fight them. The hammer rewarded for beating them is a one-time use type thing, and it will clear any rock obstacles on the main map. Later on, there are some areas in certain worlds that cannot be reached without the use of a hammer, but there is a little bit here towards the end of World 2 where it does come in handy. Again, unless you just randomly try things in suspicious looking areas, or have a friend to tell you, how would you know there's a hidden section here? There are some audio cues, like you can hear something else is on this level, like you can hear the Hammer brothers moving around on the map somewhere, so you need to be a little observant. We get a little frog suit as a bonus, not much help in the desert atmosphere, but could definitely come in handy later. Also nice to pick up the third whistle here, but again, it's just for show at this point, we aren't using it. Now we move on to help the king from this world, and we get pulled on to the next airship. So to bring up another cool fact about the Koopalings is that they are actually Bowser's kids. Bowser being the main villain and bad guy from the Mario universe, who in this case has captured Princess Toadstool. I think it's very cool the way each of the Koopalings would handle their fights with different skill sets, and along with the way each world was crafted in a unique style, just made everything feel very fresh. A lot of games around this time would feel quite repetitive, and there would be this like pattern of play to how bosses and the game would move. So you'd learn the timing or little nuances and just carry that through the whole game. But with these guys, one would stomp on the ground and freeze you. One could shoot a magic hoop to hurt you. Some would throw different things at you. So it's quite refreshing in that way. We're flying through this airship with ease, and it just goes to show, sometimes you don't need to have any special power-ups to overcome a level, even though they can give you a bit of a buffer if you get hit by an object or an enemy. Obviously, if you don't take any hits, most of the time you won't need a power-up, but not everyone is perfect. Now Morton Cooper is our next enemy, and he's based on American talk show host Morton Downey Jr. And I'm sorry, I'm not too sure who that is, but we do take care of him with ease. Alright, we haven't got many chances, we can't screw this up. Bang! Bang on the head. Take the high ground. Yeah. Easy collapse. Jump. So after defeating him, we stylishly grab the wand like an absolute champ at the top of our jump. Now we're warming up, see? We do get a cloud item for our troubles, something that will come in handy much later, as it allows us to just skip over a level completely. And we get a letter from the princess. What I never understood about this game was that she writes us letters because she's captured. How is she getting the letters out? Why doesn't she call for help from anybody else? And why doesn't she just tell me where she is? But on to the water world with even more new enemies and obstacles, the main one being, well, water. And of course fish, lots of hungry fish. I did forget to use our new frog suit to help in this first level, and that's on me. My number one enemies of this world are these octopus or squid bad guys that will either slowly bubble towards you, or the ones that will let their mini versions attach themselves to you. Swimming underwater without a frog suit can make Mario quite bobbly and up and down, which can make the little minefields challenging, and these little octopus with their unpredictable movements a little tough to avoid sometimes. These are weird enemies, but using firebombs works great. Not sure how exactly the firebombs work underwater, but hey, this is Mario. We don't ask questions, we just go with the flow. Star, please. And flow we do. Except of course when we get to the first castle in this world. Gotta figure out the door situation here. First door takes us there. Tried that one. We tried this one. It's this one. What? The way you have to figure out which door leads you to the end is basically just trial and error. Or a lucky guess.
Not that one. Oh, it's the end one.
It doesn't help when you forget where you are or where you've been. Everything starts to play tricks on you. Everything looks similar.
So we did that one. We did that one.
It's like a maze, and to be honest, kind of genius in its design.
Is it this one? It is this one.
After a lot of trial and error, we make it to the end as Small Mario, so we need to be ruthless with dealing with this mini-boss.
We did it small.
Right after this, we use the mushroom item out of our full inventory list to make sure we have a free slot available for these Boomerang Brothers. Defeating them will always give us a reward, and we want a free slot, otherwise it's just an item that goes to waste.
Yay. A hammer, perfect.
We get a new hammer for our inventory, and it seems like great timing because of these rocks blocking the path to this minigame. Rookie mistake here, I should have held on to it and looked around the map. Not only do we get scammed again out of our match, but further along in the map, there is a rock blocking a path to a dock where we can sail on the water to a few bonus levels for extra goodies. And I totally forgot about this being here. Not to worry, we're on the way to greatness and nothing will get in our way. We even had a little spectator join us for a while halfway through the world. Morning!
You were wrong.
That's crazy. I realize.
Wait, is this? Can I watch this?
Yeah. Okay. You want to watch me play Mario?
Yeah, sure.
My son, who watched me make a few little mistakes, but was riding every bump with us.
I hate this game. I hate this one. Especially
Scary.
because of those
Yep.
screens. Hurry! 5 hours. Kick it! No, you almost died.
I'll be honest, I wasn't going to show him in this video, but this moment was something too cool for me because 30 years ago, that was me. I was his age, and I watched my dad as he took his turn to play Mario. Or I'd have him help me do levels that I couldn't complete myself. He would pull off something that looked so amazing and was so hard for me to do, but he would do it with ease. I'd admire it, I'd try to copy him and try and do what he could do. I guess those moments are what gaming is all about for me. Sharing time with somebody, trying to complete something together, or cheering them on. Family, friends, whoever, just having fun together.
Oh, frog suit!
Ah! That's funny.
I know that games have evolved so much to get to where they are today, but I think it just goes to show even a simple 2D game can bring so much joy and shared interest between people, between generations.
And then I can go there. Oh, too late.
No!
Oh, what did I do that for?
Try different level.
But back then, it was pretty much just a time for me where I didn't get a new game every couple of weeks or months. For years, I'd have the same 5 or 6 games to play, and if I was bored, I would try to play them in a different way. Sometimes I'd try and get the highest score possible by collecting everything, going out of my way to destroy every enemy. Or sometimes I would try and speedrun it, to complete levels as fast as possible, not caring about the score or what I'm collecting. Or I'd try and get every single coin that I could find. Or I'd take my time and just run around, trying to find secret areas, invisible blocks, any hidden stuff and just explore. No, I never completed the game doing any of these things, but man, it was just fun to try different things. This game was my childhood, and looking at it now, I still think it's an absolute classic. And back in the day on the OG console as a kid, it felt like time didn't matter. You could just play this game for hours and hours. But this was before memory cards. If you didn't get through a game in one sitting, you'd have to leave the console on overnight and pray nobody else touched it. The amount of times I'd wake up to my mum telling me, "You forgot to turn off the Nintendo, so I'd switched it off for you," was criminal. Or my younger sister would come in and insist it was her turn to play and I'd get in trouble for not sharing. That time pressure was the toughest part I'd like to recreate here, we need to do this all in one sitting. Wendy Cooper is our next boss fight, and she's named after Wendy Williams from American punk band The Plasmatics. She shoots these hoops which can bounce around the level, although quite slowly, but are a sign of things to look out for in further levels.
Yeah. Easy claps. Jump. Scam the jump. But we won.
Our reward is one of these music boxes, and this is one of those items that seems pretty useless. It puts the moving Boomerang Brothers on the map to sleep for a few rounds. Big deal, right? Well, it might not seem like much now, but later on in other worlds, it can definitely help.
Actually, that music box is good for the final, actually level 8. When you want to go past the bad guys instead of play them, like on here. On here you can jump on them, over there it's scary. Because we're full, I'm going to pop a mushroom. Get some space. Ah, the ginormous level.
And we move on to possibly my favourite themed world, the Giant World, where pretty much everything here, in all the levels, is 4 times larger than normal, and honestly I think it looks so cool.
Wait, does this give us something? I can't remember. Oh, it does. Dude, I forgot about that. Oh, wow. Oh. What's up here? Bonus? Oh no. Not this guy. Spits his offspring at us. I can't remember if this guy you can hit with your tail. No. It disappeared. Stop it.
This level really brought back some memories too. Except when I came to the end of this little hidden section.
Oh, we can't use our feather while we're swimming. I didn't even realise. That was a bit of a waste. What do we got on this side? Nothing. Maybe something. Maybe something? Oh, it would have been nice to know there was no ground.
I know it can lead to some serious fails, but I just love exploring. However, the thing that I love even more than exploring is collecting every single coin that I can find. If I see it, I'm going to go out of my way to try and grab it, or I'll feel disappointed that I've missed it. So much so, even my wife has picked up on this. We would play with the kids on our Nintendo Switch, and to this day, she will always tease me about being a coin addict.
Oh my god, you missed a coin. Shut up. I know, it's not nice. I like getting all the coins. Okay, what's wrong with like getting all the coins? How will you live? Ah, right. Okay. Got that though! I got that though! Well, bang!
Because it just feels like you're failing if you miss out on parts of the game.
If you're not going to 100% it, why even play? Do you know what it's like being a gamer that used to play for fun? I know that's an antiquated idea. That's what old people say. I used to play games for fun. It's true, man. It's true. Wish you would realize that. Gaming is supposed to be fun. You know what's not fun though? Trying to balance looking at these candles that will move towards you and avoid.
Why did I wait? Why did I wait for it to do that? That's just silly. Look, I don't know why, but I'm prone to some serious errors.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I didn't even realize we land on that. Go. Bang! A cloud. I'm realizing how important these are going to be in the later levels. In level 8. To skip levels. My inventory is almost full. I've got one spot left, so I like to keep my options open. Now that I realize how much those are going to help me in level 8.
So, we have over 50 lives and our inventory is almost full. I want to keep all the really good items like the clouds, which can help us skip over a level entirely, and the super peas. I'm happy to use up the mushrooms and flowers to give us more space for the other items. Because yes, whilst I want to explore the game, I also just want to get through World 8 and I can foresee it causing some serious
Let's get this
problems.
guy closer. Because he can't go any closer than that, can he? Ha-ha! Oh, I think if I actually just ran that, I would have been better off. I think we're going to try and do this in one take. Ready? Go. Nope. Bad idea. Let's move this towards us. Bang! Wait, where is it? Oh, there's nothing to make us jump? Okay. Dun, dun, dun. This shit would make me break controllers. I think I've definitely cried over Mario. So the fire chases you if you don't look at it? Yes. Same, there's ghosts and stuff in this game too that will do the same thing. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, is this the end? There is. It is the end. These guys are fairly... Oh. Simple to beat. If you don't let them spawn up properly, they can't move around. That's pretty easy. Love that. Hey man, realism. Rage quit me, what? What do you mean by that? And that's how you win that level. Super P, we love those things.
Yet I lost track of things because this Super P we just earned, yeah, that's gone very quickly.
We'll try and do this. Bang. Star, we'll take that. How's our inventory? Because every time it replaces something, it replaces the last thing you put in your thing. Yeah, so... We literally just got a Super P, it was there, and the star replaced it. So that sucks. We've got to make these go down. So my tactic idea is I don't really need these flutes, but once you use them, you skip levels. I don't want to skip the levels unless I'm like rage. The stars and the Super Ps are very handy in the last level, World 8. As well as the music box. So I want to keep those as much as possible. The frog suit, we can use, but everything else up for grabs. The P's, the stars, the music boxes, and even this level skip thing, I want to keep that. I want to keep them bad.
On this level, there are things which just don't seem right to me. It feels like there should be something here, but I'm not sure what. I get those feelings a lot in this game, and I'm not sure if it's because I once discovered something here, or I'm just naturally now suspicious of everything. There's also this little door that you can go through to change the level back to regular size.
Oh, you go down here, and the world becomes small again.
It's just things like this, little details that go such a long way to giving this game personality. But despite me loving the game, it just doesn't love me back. What is this?
No, I got scammed there. I landed on his head. What the hell was that? Yeah, okay, that was bad. It's all about that growth. Bet you if I had a feather, I could fly up there, but we cannot. Oh, could not stop in time.
Now in the castle, we find another example of a typical Mario hidden feature. Although it's a little more obvious when we can get the little coin outline. I wonder who else didn't realize there was a door here.
Secret door!
We get a preview of things to come in this little hidden section with these pipes and invisible disappearing boxes that can shift direction when you jump on them. This game is constantly giving you puzzles to overcome, and whilst the solution isn't always so obvious, it's fun to just figure out which way to go, like a maze, even if it does get a little frustrating. But who thinks of this stuff? It's so creative.
We need to go up a pipe. It is up. I think this one's the better. Yeah, that one spits you up and down and around. Actually, it might be where we need to go. Dunk. We go across. No? Yep. And then we go up this way. Go up.
A lot of hidden things are purposely built in this game.
Bonus.
But how would you even know to do this unless you randomly jump in these areas that feel like there's something missing?
Something else? Something else? A hidden box? No. Okay. Up! I can't go back up. There was something. Oh. This has got to be Tanuki Mario. No, it's not. It's a bonus extra lives.
It's those kinds of things that the developers intentionally put in Super Mario 3 that made me fall in love with the game and kept me coming back as a kid. It was such a cool thing to be playing on a level and think, wait, that looks out of place, or hang on, what if I try jumping here or breaking this particular brick? It wouldn't always pay off, and some things were a little more obvious than others, but it would just encourage curiosity. And crazy because I can't remember how I even figured out a lot of the hidden areas that I knew and just went to go through on this playthrough.
W.
There was no TikTok or YouTube back then. I don't even think we had the internet at home yet, back when I would spend all my time playing Nintendo. You either knew somebody who had figured it out or who had heard word of mouth from a guy who knew another guy. There may have been a hint of something in the game manual, back when games had manuals that came with them, and they were full of helpful information.
Go get that. Even better. And now we can float if we need to make a jump. I'm gonna try and make it all the way across there though. Beautiful. Too much fire! Too much fire. Oh, this part's moving really slow. Can't wait too long, otherwise we could perish. I don't think we can make that jump up the top there. We cannot.
So we do pretty well figuring out our way through this airship in the first attempt. But named after Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Iggy Pop, Iggy Koopa is the boss of World 4.
Oh, it's a feather. Okay. That was an extra life. Dun, dun, dun. This nerd.
He's apparently one of the most agile Koopalings in the game, but we managed to take care of him quickly, never giving him the chance to use his abilities.
What a nerd. Yay. We're flying. Flying.
The princess's letter here talks about the person who stole the third whistle being to the east of the sand dunes. A nice little hint which could have taken us back to World 2, the desert world, where we had to break that little rock blocking the path to a hidden section to find the whistle. And of course, as we move on to World 5, we have accumulated a full inventory of items with almost 60 lives. We're sitting in a pretty comfortable position so far.
Flying. We got 58 lives. We're at World 5 out of 8. Jump that thing. Oh, we got these jumpy boxes. These jumpy guys.
Now the beauty of this game is that it always knows just how to tempt me in these kinds of tricky situations. What is in this mystery box? It's fairly heavily guarded. It must be something special, right?
I really want to go down here and get this. And I can't remember if I can kill these guys with my tail.
This type of situation makes me wonder, do the devs do this on purpose to get you in trouble? Or to remind you about certain mechanics? So for instance, I couldn't remember if I could beat these little chain goblins by hitting them with my tail, or if I had to finesse them. So I just had to find out.
Well, worth it. Gonna be worth it. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all.
Turns out no, I couldn't do either. But in this world we do finally get the Tanuki Mario suit, and I am very pleased. Not only does this give you the ability to fly and hit things with your tail like Raccoon Mario does, but you can also turn into a statue temporarily
Tanuki?
to avoid most types of bad guys.
Little bear Mario? Yeah, we got it.
Not only that, but it's just a fun name to say. Tanuki Mario. Tanuki. How are we supposed to know what each of these things like the Tanuki Mario suit could do? There are no in-game prompts, no pause menu instructions, or settings you can change. Back in the day, we had manuals that came with games. I wish I kept my instruction book from the original game, but I did find some footage here. So you can see it gives you all the little tips and tricks that you'd find built into today's games. Even just prompts to get you to question certain things. It's not a comprehensive guide, but it covers a lot of the things just to get you going. But if you lose this book and you need some help, you're in trouble. And further in this level is an example of how the game gets progressively harder. In the early levels, you get a huge run up to teach you how to fly up to an area you couldn't otherwise reach. Here, we need to time it with the spinning fireballs and avoid Thwomp trying to squish us at the same time.
Yeah.
I wish I paid more attention to this hint. There is an arrow pointed upwards made of coins. I didn't even realize it until after it was too late and missed whatever hidden items there were here. We also have areas here where we can take advantage of our tail to jump and float away gently to an area, and this is the reason it's my favorite power up of the game. Even to just line up a landing on a platform, if you mistime your jump, the raccoon tail is just the best at getting you out of trouble.
That'll help. That definitely helps. That helps for sure. Shout out the tail. Bang. 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 Bang.
But now here is a little choice we can make. Our inventory is one item away from being completely full, and the memory game has spawned onto the map.
We don't need that, do we?
Rather than fill up the spot now, I decide to try and go and get some extra lives.
Let's try and get some extra lives though. Come on. Let's line it up. Star. Bit late. Mushroom. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one. I feel that was a mistake.
Yeah, I think this lineup game is just out to get me. I just cannot get a 5 life bonus. But for now, a bit of tactical use of the inventory. We're forced to get a star, and so we use it for this Hammer Brothers fight.
I'm gonna use a star. Here.
I mentioned that sometimes there is a random block in one of these levels which pops out an extra life or some coins. It's something burned into my memory.
I thought there was something else in these levels.
Surprises like that keep you guessing and on the lookout for more.
Super P.
But
Love
using
that.
the star did help, as we do get a handy Super P as our prize. And in this next castle, there's a few memories triggered. This is a cool little feature to this world where you essentially climb up the castle and into the clouds for another few levels.
Ooh, yeah, this. It's got jumpy ones. Yes, it does. There we go. It's got a beanstalk.
The reason that this is interesting is that if we fail to defeat the Koopa at the end of the world to rescue the king, the ship will sail to a different random point on the map. Luckily, it's not so bad going back down to the lower point of the world, but it's just a little annoying if you miss it again and need to go back up.
That was it. Oh, I thought it was something else.
Hopefully it's not going to be a problem for us, but who knows? I'm prone to making a few errors here and there when things are going well.
Yes. Oh, I love this guy. Hehehe. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do want to try and get up there, but also I don't want to, again, fall through the bunion pads. No, we wasted... Oh, and we wasted that too.
But we can always get it back.
Dang! What a waste of Tanuki! Pretty sure it's Tanuki. But I'll be talking about the wrong thing.
And again, sometimes I think the game is out to
Power.
get me.
For the 3 lives. For the 69. Flower. And we're ready to get some flower. Nah, man, that's just unlucky.
The soundtrack to this game is something that is just so memorable. To this day, I think I could still hum back all of these tracks. Each world was unique for its background music, just as the game design. And so many varieties of sounds were used. A huge step up from the typical 8-bit sound design you might normally think of around this era. And it's not like they're just random tracks that will play on a loop. The music suits whatever the player sees and changes what we feel in the game. Like this track in World 5. It's designed to be a reggae style beat to suit the style of the world. There's so much variety in the beats, the timing, and the various samples that the game uses for each world to feel fresh. But then colourful music can suddenly shift, say when time is running out, or we make it to a boss fight. Things can be more menacing, more dark. The music plays out perfectly in tune with what we see on the screen.
We're going in raw.
It just makes the game so much better for me, but it's so well done that it doesn't take anything away from playing the game.
The jump.
It's just so seamless you probably never noticed. And remember what I said about the ship moving? That's exactly what happens. Roy Cooper, or Roy Orbison, has the ability to freeze you when he stomps on the ground if you're not in the air. It's important to time your jump, otherwise you get stuck and become vulnerable to other attacks. Here it's a 1v1 and he doesn't move the fastest, so it's not too much of an issue. But later on there will be opponents that can stomp and freeze you in place, which in a regular level can leave you helpless to multiple other enemies coming at you.
Ooh, that was messy. That was messy. We got it though. Wow. Do not mean a few of those.
This is another one of those mechanics that gets introduced in a fairly simple, obvious, straightforward way and teaches you to become aware of it and master it before the difficulty ramps up.
Kind of looks like a bird still. No worries, King. Thank you, thank you. I did all that to save the king, and they don't even give me anything other than a letter that someone else wrote for me.
Our prize is another cloud item for skipping levels. Not too shabby. But now we're on to the ice world, the 6th world, and probably the most annoying world. The terrain is exactly what you'd expect, icy and slick.
This is one where it gets slippery. Oh yeah. Okay, I wasn't going to take it, but I guess now we will.
This isn't too bad when you're running and jumping, but if you need to come to a complete stop to avoid an obstacle, a drop to your death, or just to change direction, you're in for a tough time fighting your controller. The levels are throwing up more and more unique challenges. Remember in World 2 where we timed consecutive jumps on the moving bricks? Well, we need to replicate that sort of timing again here.
We have to make a jump over the top of one of these guys, or both of them. Feather would have been handy here. There we go. Alright, that was my mistake. Let's be a flower again. We got these frog suits, kind of a waste now. Should use them in the level that was appropriate.
I'm struggling a little bit early on in this castle from some terrible decision making. I've run out of leaves to get Tail Mario, and getting it out of this mystery box early on is the only way to get a tail. The tail will help me float around gently in some tight and tricky situations. But I also realise, what the heck am I going to do with all these frog suits now?
I'm going to get the frog suit and just waste it. I'm not going to lie.
So, why not, right? The idea is that if we go into the level small, the mystery box will be a mushroom. Using the frog suit essentially will make it so Mario is already big, guaranteeing a feather out of the mystery box.
Now we're just going to float gently down here. Start again. Scary stuff. I'm so silly.
Look, I'm very much struggling here. I feel like if I flew up here, there may be some cool stuff, but I keep failing.
No, I was trying to run up so I could speed up around there, but I don't think that's it. Oh, I can't slide under. Run and duck. Oh my god, I still can't do it. Small. Now I don't need to run and freaking do it.
We've spent way too much time here, so let's cut our losses and just pass the level.
Dun, dun. Damn, I missed out on a lot of stuff, I think. Some bonus level area bits. That's alright. We got it. We got there.
Another tricky obstacle can be these little spinny things. A sign of things to come, maybe. Although, they can get you out of some trouble. Did you see how we just avoided the little fireball tail from that thing? Yeah, thank you very much, Little Windmills. That was very helpful.
Right, I think we can fly up there.
I spent so much time on this next level, it is ridiculous.
Anything up here? Ooh. We can't land on these guys. How'd we get these guys?
But I think the hardest challenge so far is this level on screen right now.
I can't carry anything when I fly either.
I am so curious about what this pipe might lead to that I'm trying everything to figure out how to break down these bad guys and the blocks.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious.
I spent quite a few lives and a lot of time trying to figure out the best way to do this particular part of the level.
So we do have to go up that pipe.
Just the way it's set out and the enemies in the way.
What if we try... not dying?
I think the idea here is to carry up the green turtle shell as we fly and release him into the gap to take care of the bad guys, but I just couldn't do it.
Oh, can you... I think you can do both.
The curiosity of how to solve this puzzle really got me. Does anyone know what I'm missing out on? I swear I might just go back to this level just to explore it again.
No, oh my god, I was doing it. Ooh.
But for now, it feels like when I
gonna be
spend
hard,
too
we're
much
gonna try
time
it.
exploring, not to mention the lives and inventory items that I'm using, I'm taking away from the real objective here, completing the game.
I'm gonna run out of time. Where's the turtle? There we go. No, you stupid Mario. Might be the hardest challenge ever. That was silly. Get this feather again. And go through. We're gonna run out of time. Yeah, there we go.
There will probably be more and more levels like this that I start to get stuck on, so it's important now to focus on being efficient with my resources. And again, 30 years later, I'm learning that there were frozen coins in this game.
What the? Oh, I've never seen that. Oh my god, I've never done this level.
I probably just skipped through this world or some of these levels. Maybe I never got here. But yeah, my mind is blown that you can keep finding more and more details on such an old game.
That's so cool. I had no idea this was a thing. We're melting the ice blocks. Oh my god. As a coin merchant, I love this.
An old coin collector such as myself would have gone crazy learning this back in the day.
That's so cool.
Imagine all the extra coins I could have got. My god. The frozen coins help us avoid some enemies in a pretty cool trade-off you need to make in this level. Although I am super curious if you can get down this pipe somehow. What is wrong with me? But the icy surfaces really throw up a different challenge to an otherwise straightforward situation, such as trying to avoid thwomp and fighting enemies in this castle.
Probably wait till that thing goes all the way right again. Then we'll go down. Yep. Nice. We'll take our time. Take our time. Okay, we'll jump through the door. That was it. Oh, he's up here. Yeah, we'll try. Oh, no. I was gonna say, you gotta catch him before he runs around too much. Not used to being on ice.
And just as a side note, am I missing something? Or shouldn't these first few blocks have hit the mystery box here? What?
The heck?
Another instance here where there are so many opportunities to find hidden things.
Ooh, is this gonna be all coins? Can we make this into a... We got a P somewhere we're missing? I reckon there's a P here. Yup. Oh no, I wasted it. Well. That's alright. Get those 5 extra lives and be done with it. I overthought that. I want to jump down! Jeez. Oh, this ghost! Oh, I forgot that.
More new obstacles to consider, these platform-looking things that have ghosts that will spawn up through it, as well as moving conveyor belts surrounded by the always annoying Boo, the ghost who will chase you when you aren't facing its
on a different
direction.
controller, and it isn't. It's weird. Oh, you watch dozens of speedrunners? Yeah, speedrunners are insane. I imagine anyone who's actually a speedrunner watching this right now would be like, this guy's a bot. But I'm just trying to do a, we're gonna use this. I'm just trying to play the game through.
This is actually new territory for me, as I cannot remember any of these levels or how to complete them.
Oh, I just went the wrong direction because I'm an idiot.
I decide to use a Tanuki Mario suit and fly around, which kind of works.
Dun, dun. Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, you have to emulate if you're a speedrunner. Otherwise, you can't get the scores to track right. And these levels are all new to me. I never actually went through and explored all the higher levels. I would usually just try and whistle all the way to level 8 as a kid. So this is kind of cool to me too, to try and actually play the levels. Dun, dun. Played Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I did a full playthrough of Metal Gear Solid. Another one of those games I kind of missed out as a kid, but I thought I would explore. Oh, damn.
Moving floors too? Yeah, all this is completely new to me. I must have totally skipped this using a whistle to skip these worlds as a kid.
Delta Force? No, but I've been told to try it. I've been told it's actually pretty good. Have you played Delta Force? Oops, too close. Yeah, because I can't, I mean, I usually play COD mainly, but I can't get playing COD non-stop all the time. It gets old after a while.
Look, this was a game renowned for its innovation and creativity. I can't remember how the game was marketed, but once again, researching this video made me come across an interesting way that this game was marketed back in the day. Hollywood. There was a movie called The Wizard which starred Fred Savage. Fred Savage, who was famously from The Wonder Years. The premise was basically these two kids finding their way to Reno to play in a gaming competition. I went back to watch it and I'll just say, it's very 80s. It's not a must watch by any means, but kind of cool for nostalgia. A ton of Nintendo games were on display throughout the movie, and it culminated in a big final tiebreaker where a new game was revealed to its competitors for the first time, that being Super Mario Bros. 3. It's shameless advertising, but funding a Hollywood movie and timing the game's release to coincide with it is pretty interesting. I wonder if it helped generate any hype at the time. If there's anyone out there who remembers this, what are your thoughts on this? Was it genius or was it cringe? Everything here is a surprise to me, especially Lemmy Cooper and these balls.
Ooh, the ball's bouncing. Oh no. Oh no. I've never done that before. Wow.
Another musician was the inspiration for his name, being Motorhead frontman Lemmy Kilmister.
I feel like this is the hardest level I've played so far, but it's not even that hard. Fire, 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 bad. Fire, bad.
This ship took me quite a few number of tries, probably about a dozen. I was getting a little delirious.
I hate those things. My god, I hate those things. How is this ship flying? Okay, this looks unsafe, unfit for purpose. Captain should be ashamed. There's no crew. What's the upkeep schedule on this boat like? Made of timber. Like pine logs. We're flying through the air with fire? That's just ask them.
Stop talking.
A pine log boat flying through the air with fire breathing everywhere? It's just asking for trouble. Alright. Let's do it. Okay, he spawns a ball straight away. This is going to be bad.
And it's not just the boat. Lemmy is making me panic a little.
Oh my god, no! I choked! I choked! We had him. We had him. He was just sitting there. Let's attack him quick. Yes, and if we bounce... Oh, the ball doesn't even...
Lemmy has been a pain, but we have the last laugh.
Yes, oh my god, we have to risk it. Just go for it. Yeah.
No, I didn't catch the wand. I'm starting to get tired, okay? Although getting all these letters is just a big tease, I do like how it tempts you to go back and discover more things in the game.
Please retrieve the magic whistle hidden in the darkness at the end of the third world.
I had no idea there's a whistle in level 3. Are there more than 3 whistles? This is something I'm going to have to go back and check as well. World 6, its music, and all the tricky time-consuming levels have been tough, but we've overcome it. We're getting close to World 8, and things are just starting to get interesting. World 7, Pipeland. Nothing but pipes, everywhere, as far as the eye can see. And pretty damn creative when you think about it.
This is a chilled level. So we think. It's one where you can go either side of the map. Yep.
We know the pipes in Super Mario being a little bit of a lucky dip. Some you can go down, some contain enemies, some are just blocked. Now the pipes are shaping the levels and are the obstacles. To get around, we need to go around, or through, or across. And we need to weigh up whether we need to try to get into little secret areas anymore. Like to get all these coins. Do we need to, or do we just save our time and energy into just getting through the levels?
Do I want to get all those coins? Kind of. Am I going to? No.
Any mistake now can be a setback, not only to our time invested, but our inventory and the resources available. One of our more prominent enemies now are these little ticking time bombs.
Uh-oh.
If we jump on them, their fuses are set, and after a few seconds will blow up and damage anything around a certain radius. This also includes other bomb guys, so we can use this to our advantage. There's also a lot of levels here which become less straightforward too. Not only choosing which pipes to go through, but sometimes we can drop into an area that will have hidden boxes which appear when we try to jump back up.
Wait, do I go up these?
This creates something of a difficult maze to a lot of these levels now, where you need to go back, around and through and try to find the right path again.
Some of these are blocked.
We also have a variety of terrain now. Plenty of our dreaded fish enemies are here. It's a bit of a minefield, but we do make it through.
Sheesh. Stop exploding. Yeah, get out of my hair. Yeah, get out of there. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Another 5 lives, please. Yes, thank you. Right.
The castle in World 7 sums it up for me. Sure, we can run through and complete it as soon as possible, but it also tempts me with so many coins. So many coins available. We can go back and forth to get more and more lives, but time can get away from you. And if you're not careful, that might be the thing that gets you.
It's fun. Good to know, good to know, good to know.
I spent a lot of time in this one room of the castle collecting as many bonus coins as possible. We've died a few times, but we've collected more lives than we've lost, so for me, it's worth it.
Just finish it. That's why. You want to run out of time. Dun, dun.
Time is running out and I want to complete the level, but I take a wrong turn and suddenly time looks like it's going to get away from us yet again.
Oh, it's the wrong pipe. My God. I'm gonna fall on this, so. Tanuki! Wait, what?
And it's at this moment that I realize I have no idea where I'm supposed to go.
Wait, what? Where is it? Not gonna have enough time. Not gonna have enough time to face what's his face, are we? 14 seconds. 10. 7, 5, 4, 3.
Oh my God, that's a buzzer beater. That's a freaking buzzer beater. My God. And here is one of the ways we can utilize Tanuki Mario if we get in a tricky situation with these guys known as munchers. I have to praise the developers on the designs for this game, particularly in this world. They can get crazy frustrating, but wow, the ideas and the way they are set out is incredible. I feel like this game really set the standard, and at the time it really pushed the boundaries for what we considered platform games to be like, or what they should be like. Like, look at these boxes that disappear over time but can also change direction when you jump on them and will move from one side of the screen and appear onto the other if you need to. Like, who thinks of this? even the way some levels get harder just by the way the enemies are clustered. You really need to master the timing of some things, be super patient and not lose your head, or start throwing all your resources at it.
I should have gone. What the? Yeah, I'm getting past that. Oh, yeah, it was right at the end too. Jesus.
I have to say it was around this time where things started to go even more downhill.
Again, it glitched out. Oh my God.
Since I was playing this on my PC, I was getting these weird glitches where the game would freeze or speed up and be unplayable just midway through doing things.
That's the thing with the emulators. Unfortunately. Blow into the cartridge.
Just more ridiculous things trying to stop me from finishing this game. But it won't. We're going to keep going.
I don't remember, and I could be absolutely faded, but I don't remember ever getting scanned by a game with glitches in cartridges. Like it either wouldn't start or it'd die. Like there's no turning off halfway through and like anything like that.
This took me on a discussion on how I can't really remember running into too many issues with the old school cartridges. It might be selective memory, but to me, the games would either just work or not start up. Yeah, we would have to blow into the cartridges to get the dust out, but that would be rare that the game would just glitch out halfway through, right? Or am I just conveniently forgetting? It felt like things were really starting to get more difficult testing, and after a few hours, I was starting to crack. This little fall here felt bigger than what it should have been.
Oh, we gotta fall down into this. Isn't there a flower in there? We'll give it a second if it pops out. Oh, dude, I'm too scared to fall sideways. Oh my God. Oh, dude.
Just putting my trust in the button inputs was starting to become even more important.
Oh, shit.
I was also getting scammed by the game just ignoring my button inputs. I swear.
I pushed jump. I freaking pushed it. This is when you got every penny's worth when you play. Yes, man. When you buy a game, you don't just finish it. You gotta play it. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I was on it!
Tension was running high.
I didn't sell a Kool-Aid. I got scammed. The game wants me to lose. Did you see that? The stupid blue things that you just fall through. Oh, wait! Why did I go backwards? Oh, no. Oh, no. No! Oh, we can get pushed. We can get pushed. It's fine. I couldn't run and slide. It's the one thing I can't do on this controller very well. Run and slide.
But it wasn't time to give up. Even though these spinny things were testing my patience on this last Koopa boss ship.
I fucking pushed! Fucking... Fuck you. Because you gotta push run and jump at the same time to get the longer jump. And if you don't time it right on those blue things, you fall. Because there's no platform. Fucking ridiculous. Fuck it, you know what? Yeah, you don't need them. Let's get it out of the way. Ah! You don't need them. Maybe you need it here. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Oh! Wow, wow, wow. Shout out LinkedIn. Get off the fire! Get off the fire! Get off the fire! Keep pushing it! Don't stop! Yeah, you know, Kool-Aid, I remember the Mario rage now. You're right. You are right.
I had enough and my gamer forward lean was at an all-time low. I was so locked in.
There we go. We just have to step on it and walks away. We don't have to jump. This is it. This is it. Easy! It's not the end! Far out, when does this thing end? When does it end? No way. Yes, when does it end? Finish it! Finish it, please. Oh, he froze me.
I can't believe I tried this fireball thing and it didn't work. But we got a bit lucky to beat Ludwig, named after the famous Beethoven, and conquer World 7.
Fucking slammed! Fucking slammed! And a time to jump to catch the wand at the very top. That's skill gap right there. Yes, Mario! The hell is he, a walrus? Is that a mustache? What the hell is that? Is he a skull? I don't know. Yo, I kidnapped the princess while you were running around. She's here in my castle if you dare to try and rescue her. Ha ha ha, Koopa Trooper.
At the expense of so many lives. I think we had peaked at 70, but now we are down to 40 lives. We made it. We finally made it. World 8.
I've never seen that because I've never beaten that level. Alright, we're at level 8. Alright, this is where the action happens. This is bad.
Now I've seen World 8 before, but only got there by using a whistle, and as I've said, never passed it on my own. But I have watched my dad play it before as well, so I do remember bits and pieces. Just this first level feels like a whole new intensity. The cannon's constantly firing, in combination with the flames and the sound, with the music, it all just amps up the tension and makes it feel like there's a lot going on. For the most part, it's fairly straightforward obstacle wise, but it's only the first challenge in World 8. We get it done, and we take a little star as a reward.
Phew. A star. Alright.
I check the inventory and guessing what's to come, I decide to attack the next ship with that star
You know
popped.
what? Let's try a star in this.
These first two levels have been similar to the Koopa ships from the previous worlds. The screen pushes us to create another layer of tension, but here it feels like the screen panning just slows you down, leaving you more vulnerable to more and more cannibals and danger flying around you.
Bad timing. Bad timing on that.
And now there's also lava to deal with along with all the cannonballs. And as it turns out, the star didn't actually help too much because it's not like we can speedrun through the levels.
The hell? Wow, what a jump. It's giving me end game vibes. Yeah. Phew.
No reward for this ship, but it's nice to keep it going.
Yeah, man, I'm freaked out. I remember that there is something in here that will whisk you away just randomly on the map, I think. I think it's just completely random.
As I said there, I remember that crossing this bridge is somewhat random in that a hand will drag you down and force you to start a level. If you ever needed to use some of your inventory, you'd need to plan ahead because once it grabs you, that's it.
Oh, damn. Oh, now we get back under. Oh! Thought I jumped at his head.
It will strike on different sections each time too, so if you fail and go back, you might not get to face the same level again. It'd be completely new, just like what happens here. And you could be unlucky and drag down multiple times before making it across. I think the music boxes would have put this to sleep, but I'm not sure.
I got my gamer lean going. My forward lean is almost peaking. I missed that coin and that pisses me off.
Thankfully, the level we do get second time around isn't too difficult, and we get a nice leaf as a reward.
Leaf. Could be handy. Could be handy. Ooh. Whoa, this is fast.
The next ship ramps up the difficulty again. The screen is moving at a faster speed, shockingly, for the first time in this game.
Wow, that was speedy.
It's a huge surprise and a bit of an adjustment to get your head around at first. The problem here is that the throwable objects and the flamethrowers we need to avoid still move at the same slow speeds, so if you miss time a jump or an obstacle, it feels like an eternity to wait for the window of opportunity to present itself for you to move again. Like the timing just feels off.
Fuck. Just one mantle goes wrong.
And we get taken down again.
Yeah, until you finish these, they'll randomly take you down. Whoa, that saved my life.
I have a feeling this is going to keep happening, not only because we need to restart from our last past level, but because we may have to make our way back through the map to navigate the pipe system to find Bowser.
Okay.
We passed this last section of the bridge after failing our first attempt earlier. I think now is a good time to take stock of what we have and utilize what we have in our inventory.
I'm going to use one of these Super Peas.
It is an easy way to pass this level, and at the end of the day, this is why we have been saving the good stuff.
Corny, but that's why I'm saving them. For levels like this, where this could cost me a lot of lives. I could do it, it's going to cost me a lot of lives. And it's part of the game, man. It's in the game. So the Super P is making us fly constantly for as long as we're in a level. If we go down a pipe or something, I think it doesn't work anymore. You just become Mario with a tail. But as long as I'm tapping the button, it's making me float. You can still get down and run, but obviously we're gonna go low. There we go. There's my joystick for a second there to change direction. Wasn't good. So yeah, now it's run out. Oh no. Until we touch the ground. It won't let me go right. Oh, I thought once you go down a pipe it doesn't work anymore.
That wasn't too bad, but I would like to understand exactly what we're dealing with before we fly into the next level.
Okay, that makes that pipe disappear. So where do we go from here?
What's with all the pipes in this world, and how do we navigate ourselves to find the end?
Oh, in the dark. What if we try and go back across the bridge? Where does that... Do I want to find out? If I go back to this... Ooh, we made it across. Let's explore. Let's explore this. Oh, we're locked.
Turns out one of these pipes will lead to a blacked out area blocked by a lock. The next section of the map we progress to is also blacked out. So assuming that it is the same screen, there might be an easy way to make it to the end if we just listen out for a lock breaking or disappearing like they normally did in previous levels when we completed a castle.
what we got is the Super Ps, which make us fly. These music boxes, which will put to sleep some of the bad guys on the map that we don't have to face, so that's good. This cloud thing will help us skip levels. So we've got 4 clouds. You've got a couple of superstars to start the games with. We've got a hammer to break any rocks we need. And yeah, 3 Super Ps. So it looks like we're faced with a few levels that are a bit more in line with our previous experiences. Those ships brought a lot of tension, but now we're looking at a blackened map, so we have no idea how far we have to go. Aha, I knew there was something. Ooh. Yeah. That's nice. Couple extra lives, it's handy. I thought that might have been the end. Oh, you cannon, you waited for the last second. The timing on that is insane. I just can't jump in time, I'm so silly. The same old me making silly mistakes may cost us here, and in fact, it does. So after a few tries at this level, I decide to dip into my inventory and use a cloud to skip level 1. Down to 36 lives, and the way I'm going, I'll need every single one I can get. Of course, I don't quite know how many levels there are. I can't afford to spend multiple lives on each level. Assuming there's at least 8 to 10 levels in World 8, I'm going to need to be less wasteful with my lives and fast before we run out. But in saying that, I remembered very quickly about how a cloud can be very much wasted. It's a waste. It's a waste. The clouds are a waste if we don't pass the next level. It's a shame we had to waste it like that. I thought about using another cloud and then using a Super P in level 2, but is that too much? It's still only the first 2 levels. What am I doing? So for level 1, I decide to pop a Super P, grab a few extra lives, and be done with it. Gotta be done. Are we at the end? We are at the end. So now we can give level 2 a proper go. Oh, what the? My thought for level 2 was that we could use our tail to speedrun and fly over these little bouncy boxes, but I stuffed up. Again. No! Oh my god. I was gonna run up and... Can't do these. Change of plan. Let's just use another Super P. We're using a P. So in my mind, level 1 seemed like a pretty basic one, and now level 2 seems like a blackened version of something from World 2, the desert world with a crazy angry sun. Could this be a sign of things to come? Will level 3 be more of a giant style world? Yeah, look, this isn't amazing Mario gameplay, but it's been a few hours and I just want to finish. Flying, flying! Away from that sun, away from everything. Whoa. I make an effort to get the star card at the end here to potentially get a few extra lives because hey, we're probably going to need them, right? Phew. Now this pipe. Where does this pipe go? I'm a little confused why this is here because honestly,
It could be just there to mess with people, but it's hardly a big change in where you are in the map, so I'm not sure. Well, let's just try the castle.
Oh, what? Oh, it just takes us there. Oops. Okay. The castle.
And it's another weird maze castle. Yeah, my reaction here says a lot about how I'm feeling.
Oh, not this shit. Go through this door. It's gonna piss me off if we don't. Uh-oh. Diagonal. Oh, there's an extra life. Oh. Phew. Oh! That made us go back forwards. Who knew? Door? Door. Door? Does it fall down? It does. Can we make this jump? Can? Oh, oh, we can't go through. Ooh, we can go back. Oh, there's another door. I see. That doesn't go through there, that's okay. What the heck? I'm so silly. Right, this door. Where the hell are we? There's nothing there! That wasn't worth me running towards. Damn, that's a weird castle.
I can't really figure this out. I've taken a few goes at it, and this happened.
What's goody? Oh, versatile. Versatile! I wasn't paying attention. What's goody, handsome? I am just, dying. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to go castle. Take this pipe, and I reckon we're going to be scammed. We're very scammed here, aren't we?
This looks like it might be near the end, but I'm not entirely convinced. Luckily, the fact that we went through the pipe saved us from wasting our cloud and going back to the previous level. I'm not sure if this will come back to bite us, but I imagine it will.
Shit.
I'm seriously doubting the move now because I'm fearful that the lock behind this tank can only be broken by passing the very castle we just skipped over. But there's only one way to find out.
Here's a little bit rage-inducing. Let the bomb explode. Let's jump over that. Ooh, we are at the end. Sweet. Hopefully this is straightforward.
But I'm pleasantly surprised.
1, 2, 3. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, I played number 1 and this one number 3. Oh, it does do it. Wait, is this the final? Is this the last thing? Whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I've never played this. I've never played this. I don't know what to expect.
Looking back on this replay, I have no idea why I didn't try and use anything from my inventory here. A star,
can just run straight
a
through that.
mushroom,
So what if we go
something.
up?
But as we discover Bowser's castle,
Okay.
I'm just going to let this part play out.
And then we ride this all the way down. Okay. These bad guys, these bad candles. Rest there. Dun, dun. Uh-oh. A tail here? I think you could run up and fly. That would be... What the heck? Oh, we gotta guess how high we gotta go, maybe? Yeah, this is a dead end. What if we ride this one down? Whoop! Bad idea. Oh, I don't know where I'm going. Is this back at the start? Whoa! Is that a laser? My god, how many of these statues are gonna kill me and how many are just for show? Dude. Last time I watched this level, I was 7 years old and the babysitter, she was a Mario demon. Maybe watch her play Mario. Wait, she finished it in front of you? What a flex. Wow. I watched my dad kind of finish it, but I don't remember any of this. I was probably around the same age. And yeah, I've never finished it myself, so. Wait. We're there. Isn't that him? Aren't we there? Isn't he breathing fire and we gotta go kill him? Over the bridge, like old school style? Oh, maybe not. Okay. Never mind. She was the most cracked player I've ever seen. Wow, what a flex. She just did it in front of you like, hey, watch this, little man. Wait, what? What the hell? What do we have to do? Oh, we have to make him fall? Is that what it is? We're gonna make him land on us? Is that what this is? Stay up here. Come land on us, little man. Oh, dude. With the music? Oh, get out of there. Oh, it will hit us. Damn. Okay, so we can't actually jump on him. That's the mistake I made. Yeah. Alright, this is a big area, man. Come jump. Come. Oh! Why did he jump there? I thought he just jumped onto you. I gotta do all that again? You could shortcut all the way to the end from this. Why did I do that? Just relax. Getting a bit impatient here. We've got to slow down. All right, we fight him again. Oof. What am I doing? Yes, yes. I'll stay closer. So I'm staying on this bridge. So I can jump over the fire, and while I got this tail, I can sort of float away if I need to. Because he hovers in the air for a little split second. So sometimes he does it on one fire bolt, sometimes he does it on two. So he's done it on two that time. I can do it now? No, he does two again. Okay. One, two. Yes. I'm gonna stay here. Oh, he did it on one that time. Sneaky! One, two. One, two. One. Did we finish it? Did we crack Mario? We freaking did it! Oh my god. Thank you. But our princess is in another castle. Just kidding. You freaking lucky you're just kidding. Haha. You're fucking lucky. You're lucky. Oh my god. Hey. Childhood over.
It's weird. The fight with Bowser isn't the most difficult to complete, and the ending here is very abrupt. No real closure to any story or sum up of what we've just achieved. It's just, hey, you won. That's it.
Nah, Grasshopper, that was grouse. I played some levels there I've never done before. That was nice. That was a good feeling.
The curtain just closes on the theatrical production of Super Mario 3, and I can't lie, I did feel a bit emotional completing this.
The inner child in me wants to cry. It's just like, wow, it's been 30 years.
I mean, it's been over 30 years since I first played the game. 30 years. No, I didn't exactly slave away at trying to finish it in all that time. But it did always feel weird when people would ask, what's your favorite game? And I would say it's Super Mario 3, but I hadn't actually completed it before. But I guess it doesn't matter because there is so much that I love about this game. There's all the subtle features that you can discover, all the hidden areas, plus for the time that it came out, all the advances in technology, design and ingenuity to consider. Completing this made me feel happy because it was like I completed a part of my childhood that I was missing. It was relief mixed with happiness. All of this just to say that Super Mario 3 is absolutely a must-play game, one of the best games of all time, and most definitely needs to be on your gaming bucket list. And if you have played it, I think it's time you gave it to your kids to try. So what game do you think we should play through next? My name is Mingers. If you've made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you can, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.